Good afternoon, everyone. How's everybody? How's the show? Yeah. Much better. Thank you. Well, welcome to our annual trend spotting session. You know, it's really kind of an interesting exercise because really starting in October, our team, who you're going to meet in another minute or so, go around the country and identify key trends, and these trends really are the result of all the creativity, innovation, and reinvention and invention that really drive our industry. So it's a really exciting time, and we really hope that you enjoy it. On my left here is Kristin Morency Goldman, and she is communication specialist for the Toy Association. Next to her, or close to her, is Isabel Carrión-López, and she is the director of digital communications at the association. And then sitting down over there is Adrienne Appell, who is Director of Strategic Communications at the Association. Oh, and by the way, I'm Ken Seiter. I'm the Vice President of Marketing Communications. But anyway, let's give them all a great welcome, and let's kick it all off.
Hi, everyone. Is this on? Okay. So the first trend that we're going to be sharing today is something that we're calling Collectibles 2.0. And as some of you might know, collectibles were huge last year. They were up 33% in sales, reaching $1.8 billion. So it's safe to say that collectibles are huge, and we're really seeing that trend carry forward into this year. But we're calling it 2.0 because while there are still those same classic, traditional collectibles that kids have loved for generations, we are seeing some collectibles that we're calling dual use, meaning that they offer more than just collectible play. They might incorporate arts and crafts or technology or various other types of play to make it really exciting for kids. So the products I have here, I'm going to be moving from some of the basic collectibles into what we're calling the 2.0 collectibles. So first up, we have Toki Doki from Aurora World. This is a Japanese lifestyle brand that has amassed a cult following, so it's very, very popular, and it's a new license for Aurora. They are very simple but beautiful plush. They come in different sizes, from small ones in blind bags all the way up into larger plush characters for kids to collect. This one is called the Mermicorn, so it's a part mermaid, part unicorn. Very lovely. Next up, we have Little Sprouts from Wicked Cool Toys. These are based on the very, very popular Cabbage Patch Kids that I'm sure you all know about, but this is their micro mini line of Cabbage Patch Kids for kids to collect. There are 120 different characters and pets and accessories that are part of this line. There are play sets, and they're very adorable. I'm sure you can see up there. So moving into the dual-use collectibles, first up we have Fluffables from Orb Factory. These are actually collectibles that kids can make on their own. So they come with just a little plastic figure that they then use a pin to push in all the little fluff to make their character. There are characters and patterns that they will follow, or they can create their own, so they can be customized as well. Each one comes with a blind pack of accessories, so kids will be really excited when they open the box to discover which accessories they're going to find for their Fluffables. Moving on, we have Sweetlings from Alex Brands. This is another great arts and crafts creative type of collectible. Kids can make these delicious looking but not edible Sweetling characters. They can decorate them. They use this special clay in order to decorate them, and they look like little cupcakes and cakes, and they can trade them with their friends. They can make their own. They can create the characters on the box as well. Over here, I have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles micro playset from Playmates. This is a really fun toy for Turtles fans. There are 4 in this collection, 1 for each turtle. When you open them up, they reveal a playset, 2 little micro figures. There are different levels of play within the playset. There is a little sewer slide. Oh, where did he go? Comes at the bottom. There's a little mini projectile. just a lot of fun for Turtles fans. There is the Leonardo Dojo playset, Donatello's Lab, Michelangelo's Skate Park, and Raphael's Rooftop. Next, we have the metamorphic card creatures from Butterfly Machine. These are trading cards, but they're not your regular trading cards. They can be bent and folded, much like origami, to create little action figures. There will be a game tie-in for this as well. It's currently in development. And this company, Butterfly Machine, is actually in the launch pad out there. So they're a first-time exhibitor at Toy Fair. And if you haven't yet gone to see the companies in the launch pad, you should definitely check them out because they have really unique, innovative stuff. Finally, we have Hanazuki line from Hasbro. So Hanazuki is a lifestyle brand as well from Amsterdam, and it's centered on Moonflower, who discovers the true power of her emotions. So it's really teaching kids about expressing themselves and expressing their emotions. This line from Hasbro includes the Mood Gleam wearable band. It can be customized. Kids can collect these little treasures. I'm going to see if I can... trying to turn it on, I'm sorry. I really want to turn it on because I want to show you it's very pretty, but there we go. So depending on which treasure they place up here on the band, it will express their mood. So if they're angry, it'll turn red. If they're happy, it'll turn yellow, or they can do a combo. This is a combo, angry and happy for the moody tween. It also connects to an app via Bluetooth, and kids can bring this collectible play into an online world. So that is it for me.
Okay, so the next trend that we're going to talk about is up and active. And the basis of this trend is to get kids moving both indoors and outdoors. So first up, we have our Ogo disc from Ogo Sport. And this is a great toy to get kids moving. It's a sort of a catch game, but you can also play by yourself, and you can learn how to do lots of tricks. You can play with the ball that comes with it, or you could have your own ball, or you can have a water balloon. And he's going to show you. We want to step away from him.
Because the water balloon has been something that's been popular. Can everyone hear me, by the way? Yes, because the water balloon has been very popular in incorporating into the game, we always try to get to the child's imagination. So, for instance, if they lose the koosh ball, that's okay. We want them to be able to use whatever they have available. So if they have a small teddy bear, if they have rolled up socks, but more importantly, our sales figure has always been mentioning, including in our advertisement, water balloons. Because it's been so popular, we decided to actually make a specific one for water balloons as well. So as you can see, it's still the disc shape. You can still use it as a frisbee. You can bounce it. You can juggle it. We're giving all the kids an opportunity to be creative with the toy. As you saw, I juggled with it, but it's a two-player game. Two-player game enough that anyone here feel brave. How about you, sir? Do you feel brave? Can you catch? There you go. Boom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit it to you, and you're just going to hit the ball right back. Why don't you stand up so that way you can give it a little bit more imp. And let's give this guy a little bit of support over here. There you go, sir. No pressure, by all means. There's two ways you can play. It's either by skill or by instinct. So here's the skill. There's the instinct. There you go. Look at that. So as you can see, it's a simple game, redefining the way of playing catch to the point where it's indoor, outdoor, or if you want to throw in a little bit of flair, you can. So when it comes to active, you definitely got something that will get you moving. Thank you, sir.
And as you can see, since you can play by yourself, you can also play indoors, although I would not recommend it with the water balloon.
Not water balloon.
So the next toy that we have here is the Piki Piki bike, and it's originally from Australia. Fun fact, Piki Piki means little motorbike in Swahili. Sorry, not Australia, South Africa. I'm so sorry. This is a great initial bike for the little ones, 18 months and older. It's a great transition bike into the actual pedal ones. This one doesn't have pedals, but it steers like a bicycle, and so it allows them to sort of start learning the ropes, the coordination they will need to actually ride a pedal bike. And it's also very lightweight, and it moves very well. So that's great for outdoor, but also for indoor, if they have the space, of course. Next up, we have the disc jockey, and this is a regular or a classic throw disc. but with a twist. It actually plays music. So you can actually be having lots of fun playing Frisbee, but with your music on. So, yes. So it has a Bluetooth speaker inside, and you can actually control it here. You can move your transition from song to song. You can pause it, change the volume. It's water resistant, and it has a range at about 100 feet, so it's great for actually playing with it, but it's also great for just having it with you by the pool or even indoors if you want to just listen to the music, not on your phone, but on a nice sounding speaker. So the next one that we have is the slime ball dodgeball. So this is dodgeball with a bit of a slimy twist. So it comes with there's different versions of it, actually. There's the tag version of it, where the balls will stick to this, but they won't stick to anything else. So they're not going to be sticking to the floor or the wall or anything. They'll stick to this, or they'll stick to these targets that come for the other variations of the toy, which is actually a sling. I'm not going to throw this out because I have no idea who I would hit, but you can sling. The idea is that you would hang this target anywhere. So this is great for playing with a friend. Each one of each one of the kids can have this on their chest, play with the balls. Or if you have a nice space of blank wall in the room or whatever, you can set this up, and then you can play inside with the slime balls. And there's also an actual arrow, which is really cool, much bigger. So here we have the Movi, the Teach and Tag Movi by Fisher-Price. And this is great for the smaller set as well, to get them moving. So Movi has 3 different modes to play. He also has 6 interactive games, and the games are games all designed to get the kids moving. So like red light, green light. He also asked them to move like certain animals. So the point is to have the kids around Movi and follow the instructions. So it teaches them how to listen to instructions, but it also starts to teach them some motor or gross motor skills to get them, kind of growing. So that's Movi. I'm not going to. All right. And then before we do the beat moves, the VTech 4-in-1 Strolling Road Trek Tyke. This is a vehicle that grows with the child. It has 4 transformative stages. So it goes from a stroller, which is what you see right now, to a trike, to a drifting mode where the child sort of can move it back and forth depending on their level of comfort. And it also grows with the child, and it has an electronic panel that changes with the abilities and age of the child. So something that parents can get when the kids are really young, but then it can grow with them and, again, help them sort of transition into the real bicycle. And then last but not least, we have our Beats Move, and we have these guys who are going to demo this for us. And Beats Moves is actually a wearable electronic handheld device that responds to the movement of your body to play sounds and music.
Great. So now you're actually not going to be dancing to music. You're going to be making music by dancing. So, Daigo, have a little shake. But it's all sorts of different things you can do. One of my favorites is the robots. Now, they're going to turn themselves by flicking to a preset memory. They've chosen some sounds that sound like robots. Now, they've got them on their feet as well as their hands. So off you go, Daigo. But perhaps one of my favorite things, because everybody always wants to be in a pop band. But if you don't know how to play a musical instrument, it's hard to get yourself in a pop group. But now you can. Simply put a different musical sound in each hand on band. And over here. And now simply by timing, that when they're dancing, they can make their own soundtrack. Moving is making music rather than you dancing to the music. But it can also be really silly things like Karate Kid. So you start to take funny sounds and start to attack each other. So there's 400 sounds built in. You can record your own sounds. So you can end up with 1,000 different sounds over here. This is for any age, whether you want to go down the disco, the club, have fun, or simply be active kids and make silly noises for yourself. Invented by Daigo, who is an engineer at Tokyo University, but won several dancing contests and decided to combine his passion for dance with the future of dance. Beat moves.
Thank you. So now I'll give it over to my colleague, Kristin, who's going to talk about tech.
So I'm going to be speaking to tech trends right now. I'm saying that was a really great transition from outdoor into tech, actually. So we are always asked, what's the hottest tech toy? What's new in tech? And it's really exciting because every year the toy industry really does innovate, leverage new technologies to enhance play for children. And we always say that technology is not replacing traditional play. It's not replacing classic play. It's really just bringing it to a new level for a new generation of kids to enjoy. So for this year, we're particularly excited because a lot of the technologies that were just emerging a few years ago, like 3D printing, augmented and virtual realities, have become a lot more affordable for toy makers to incorporate into their products. So consumers now have more options, they have more opportunity to afford these toys for their children. So right now I'm going to run through some of these for you. Starting off, we have the iDo 3D printer from Redwood Ventures. They came out with the 3D pen a couple of years ago. This is an actual 3D printer for children. So they have this special Formula 4D system that enables kids to create anything that they can think of at a very affordable price point of $59.99. So they can make action figures, they can make accessories, basically anything they can think of. So that's an example of 3D printing. Next up, we have the Spintails Enchanted Duvet. I believe they were here. They were supposed to be demoing this. Okay. He's coming down this way. So this might look like a normal duvet, but it actually, through augmented reality and through the use of an app, brings kids' classic favorite stories to life. So he's just going to demonstrate.
Hi there. Do you know my story? Let's start from the beginning.
Perfect. Thank you. So really what this is doing is it's taking kids' favorite stories and really creating an enriching, immersive experience for them. Next up, we have the DigiLoom from Wowie. This is a digital loom. Kids create their designs via the app, and then the app connects with the digital loom via Bluetooth to bring their creations to life. So they can make anything. They can make headbands, they can make bracelets, and I think I can kind of show you how it works here. So it guides the child to loom. So it's still very tactile and it's still very hands-on. It's not completely digital. And that's just a great example of creative arts and technology being merged together. Next up, we have Smart Numbers. Smart Numbers from Marbotic. This is an educational app for kids as young as 3, but it includes these really nice tactile wooden number pieces that children use to engage with the app. So they're learning to count, they're learning math, like simple addition and subtraction, and they place the pieces directly onto their tablet, and then it reads what their responses are to the math questions. This company actually calls their product technology with a soul. So it's just a very nice way to bring classic play together with app play. Next up, we have the Mover Kit from Technology Will Save Us. This is a startup from the UK, and it's an awesome wearable that kids build the wearable and then they code it. So it will flash lights depending on what they've coded. So for example, one of the creators of this was telling me that a little boy decided that he wanted to time how long, like 2 minutes for brushing his teeth. So he did the coding on the app, he uploaded it to this device, and then as he was doing his toothbrushing motion, it would flash red when the 2 minutes were up. So that's one example of how it can be used, but there are many, many, many open-ended ways to use this. You can also place it on a toy or another object like a bike. So for example, if you want your bike to flash white when you're advancing and then flash red when you're backing up, it can do that too. Finally, we have the Aura from KD Interactive. We have a demo right here. It uses gesture robotics and a special glove which controls the drone. It's in a special cage so that it can roll on the ground and it can also fly. Go for it. Here it is, it's coming up. So as you can see, it's motion controlled and it doesn't require a typical joystick. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to pass it over to Adrienne.
Hi, everybody. I'm Adrienne, and I'm here to talk about a trend we are calling Oh So Classic. So, you know, we're going right from tech to kind of classic play, and as you'll notice throughout, you know, our presentation, a lot of these toys are going to fit in many different categories, but one of the things we're really excited about, in addition to tech, is that classic play is alive and well. You all know the toy industry was up 5% last year. A lot of that growth is coming from traditional categories, such as, you know, games and puzzles was up 18%, plush was up, outdoor sports, so you can't get more classic than that. So here we have an array of some classic toys in a bunch of different categories. This one is from Folk Manus, and this has the, you know, the classic Disney styling. This is a Pluto hand puppet, and you'll notice he's a beautiful plush, a low-tech feature. When I squeeze him, his ear is going to lift. He's available, and they also have Mickey and Minnie. So these are really, really beautiful. It's that classic Disney styling, obviously a classic plush puppet play, and it's brand new for this year. You know, what's more classic than a fire truck? This is actually a prototype, so I can't, you know, the ladder will go up. I mean, this is obviously giant. This is from American Plastic Toys, and it's going to retail for only about $20. So I think that's great value, and it's really kind of playing off that classic trend. So, and that, again, is going to be new for the fall. Madame Alexander. Right here, these are Sweet Baby Nursery. These are little tiny classic baby dolls. They're scented with lavender. They smell really good if anybody wants to come up and take a look. But again, that classic nurturing play pattern. But this is a brand new line that will be out. Then we can kind of, this is a new take on an old classic. So I know many of you are going to recognize him. This is Teddy Ruxpin. And he is from Wicked Cool Toys. I know many of you might remember the old Teddy Ruxpin from the 1980s. He was kind of bulky with that big cassette player. He is super soft. He's cuddly. He has about 40 different facial expressions with his LCD eyes, and he is going to sync up to an app that he will read along with the child. So it really becomes their best friend and becomes magical. And I'm just going to turn him off right now because we have a few more things that we need to show. He just keeps wanting to talk to you guys. I don't know. Thanks, Teddy. And then another classic trend we've been seeing, but a new take, is the adult coloring trend. And this is actually, we're getting away from coloring books and we're moving into an actual mural. So I think this is really, really cool. You know, you don't need to stay to your coloring books. This is kind of a larger project. And this is from Doris. This is 3 by 6, and adults can really have fun coloring too, which is obviously another classic trend. We also have from Hoppy, this is a wooden scooter. And I just think scooters obviously classic, but the wood look and styling is really kind of paying homage to that classic toy shop kind of look. And this is really, really nice. I love that. And then from Klutz, we have this activity line. And this book is 101 Outrageously Fun Things to Do. And this takes all these classic play patterns from 40 years of klutz. So it has encrypting secret messages. It has punch-out mini cards, cat's cradle, DIY brain eraser. So all those fun things you remember doing as a kid. And this is perfect for car trips or kind of to take on the road with you. Kids will love playing the games mom and dad played. And obviously it's pretty low tech, but it's a lot of fun. So that's kind of our oh-so-classic trend. And then another trend I'm going to go right into is our movie toy trend. So this year is a huge year for movies. You know that the toy industry, licensing is approximately 30% of the toy industry, and 2017 is really shaping up to be a huge year for family-friendly movies. So starting off, I'm going to put this guy on. For Guardians in the Galaxy, this is Dancing Groot from Jack's Pacific. And what I love about him is that he has 2 different modes of play. So I love his remote control. It's a tape. And he has different modes of motion based upon the remote control. The other cool thing he does, if you switch him into mode, he will actually listen and he'll dance along to whatever music you play. So don't have any music now, but he's dancing along to what I'm saying. So this is really, really fun for kids. It's bringing the character from the movie to life. He's going to retail for about $40, and he'll be out in the spring to coincide with the launch of the movie in May. Then we have classic trends, but with the Smurfs movie that is coming out in April. So these are some of the smaller 24-piece puzzles. These are for younger kids, but there's also a 1,000-piece puzzle that will be great for the entire family to play along with. So that's for the Smurfs movie. And you'll notice as I go along, it's really fun to see entertainment brought to life in so many different ways. So you have, RC, plush, there's all these different applications. So we tried to pick not only a different movie, but a different type of toy. So from Pillow Pets, Cars 3 will be at. This is really fun because it's kind of like their fun character that they get to play with, but then it opens up into a nice big pillow that the kids can sleep on. So this is really, really fun, and that's kind of the plush category with the Cars movie. And then wanted to go to Minion MIP. So if everyone come up and do a demonstration, I'll grab you a.
MIP a couple years ago, balancing platform for one of our robots. And we engaged with a team at Universal to put together this really cool Minion character. He's app-enabled. There's tons of games in the app you can draw past. There's even some programming elements in there, some little STEM stuff. But really what's amazing is this unbelievable character and the personality in a little robot. So I'll show off a little bit of that. So he's full of gags. You can pick him up and shake him. When you put him back down, he's going to react to that in a classic Minion style. We've also got tons of games, app and non-app based. He'll do a little dance for you here. And that's Minion MIP. Oh, sorry, I forgot one important thing. We include a fart blaster. This is really important. It actually allows 2 Minion MIPs to have a fart battle together. Just wanted to add that.
Okay, and then everybody knows a lot of the superhero movies, action movies that come out. We have Wonder Woman coming out. And this is just really a fun role play item. So this is a super, super, super soft shield and sword, and it's actually sound involved, so you can hear. So kids will love playing. They can battle each other, they can play together, and they can just role play their favorite characters. And just love the new styling on this, and just really, really fun. That is from, I knew this, Factory Entertainment. And then this is from World Tech Toys. This is the Marvel Ultimate Spider-Man drone. So this is going to be really, really fun for kids. Using Spider-Man they love. They can recreate scenes from the movie. And this will be out, again, right around the launch of the movie. Now, this is really, really a great product. This is from Hasbro, and this is Belle. And I'm going to turn her on. Now, she actually is beautiful doll, but you can actually code her to dance. So there's an app here where kids can block code, or they can connect the dots, and they can actually program how they want Belle to dance. So this is one of the few products. This is going to be out for holiday. This isn't going to coincide with the movie that's launching in March, but I'm just going to kind of put her on this mode. I did encode her for this demonstration, but just to give you an idea of, she can actually dance on her own, or kids can code her. So we can turn her on.
Hello there. Shall we dance?
And she plays the classic song, and so you can see, you know, kids are really going to love the fact that Belle's going to come to life, and really nice that you're taking this doll category to the next level and kind of incorporating, you know, some of the trends that we're seeing in STEAM and STEM. So again, this is from Hasbro, and she'll be out for holiday. And now I'm going to send it over to our next trend with Isabel.
All right. So last but certainly not least is our STEAM to STREAM trend, which, as you know, STEAM, science, technology, arts, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math has been around for a while. But this year we're seeing a lot more of the robotics. So we added the R into the stream. So I'm going to show you some toys. Some of them are robotics, some of them not, but just so you can see how this trend continues to be really big. So starting off with a science, more of a science theme, is the Mudwat by Magical Microbes. And yes, you might be thinking, that sounds kind of gross, but no, it's actually not. It's actually kind of cool. So basically, this is a kit that will come for you, and it's harnessing the power of electricity from the soil around you or from food. So the point is to get kids to experiment, mixing different types of soil, mixing different types of food to see what they can get the most electricity out of. And there's actually an app that comes free, and it'll measure the output of your electricity. And then it has actually a story about Shui the bacteria. So as kids figure out how to get more electricity out of their Mudwat, the story will unlock more and more chapters. So you'll learn more about Chewy, and you'll also figure out how to make more electricity. The next toy is Cubetto by Primo Toys, and we have here somebody that will talk to it and demonstrate it for you.
Hi, so I'm one of the creators of the Cubetto playset. Differently from other coding toys here, this is one that's accessible to children ages 3 and up, and it's a hardwood robot that you can see over here, and children can programming using a tangible programming language that doesn't use any screens. So this is what's kind of unique about it. The way that the game works is that you guide Cubetto through his adventure using a map, and you have to think about where you want him to end up on the grid. In this case, we want him to go to the water tile via the forest, and using these unique blocks, you can create a sequence that gets him to his destination. So I've created my program here. I want him to go forward to the left 90 degrees and then go forward again. And when I press the button, as a 3-year-old, I've not just designed my first program, I've also watched it being executed right in front of me, which is extremely empowering and very important. It's the only coding toy that's at the moment being used within Montessori settings. And with more blocks, you can expand the possibilities of programming. And using the blue block, you can actually create functions and recursions. Different maps and stories expand Cubetto's world and allow for more storytelling. You can see a little bit of it here on the side of the box, but we've got some beautiful stories with it. And it's been shipping since November last year, and it was Kickstarter's most crowdfunded educational technology invention in Kickstarter history, raising $1.6 million from 96 countries where it's currently being used.
Thank you. Right. Next, we have Sam's Curious Cars by Sam Labs, and this is basically kind of teaching kids the basics of engineering and construction through building these cool little cars. And she will demonstrate how the car moves. But basically, you have an app, and you can start off with the most basic thing, which is moving the car forward. And then you sort of build up to moving the car to the left, moving the car to the right, backwards, etc. But as the child learns how it works, he can get up to a level, he or she can get up to a level where they can go into sort of like the back end and really learn how to even write the code that controls the cars. So this is actually their police car, which is basic but not super basic because it does move in different directions and it actually makes noise as well. So.
Yep. So as you graduate through the series of different onboarding challenges, you actually increase the level of blocks and the level of complexity. So it's a very, very fun gamified interface where kids can actually build and program their own inventions, obviously after they've gone through this fun experience of racing and programming the car. So if you will just assist me.
Mm-hmm. I would.
All we need to do now is just connect the elements together. So, like so. And I'll put this back on. Thanks. And then now, we have an element of software and the elements of hardware working together to make a little police car. And, sorry, it's a bit small, but you can see the software is obviously modifying the hardware as well. So they're not only gaining the digital literacy that they need, but they're seeing it in physical reality and a really, really fun gamified interface.
Thank you. All right. So, okay, so now moving into the robotics, which is the reason for R, right? We have from the Young Scientist Club, they've invented 4 different kits, which include everything you need to build your own robot. But each robot is different in the way they respond. They actually have, this is Sunny, the robot. He responds to light. So if you turn him on, he will start moving because there's a lot of light here. And if you wanted to stop him, you would just, take away his light source. This is Hurdle. Hurdle actually responds to obstacles. So he will start moving around, sense an obstacle. Oh boy, and he's not. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, there he goes. Now he's backing up. And he's moving in another direction. Oh, there you go. So that's Hurdle. And then they have Metalli, which has a sensor for metal. So he will move and make noise when he senses metal. And Infra, which responds to infrared signals. So this is just one of those great kits for kids to start learning about robotics. It also includes activities for them to do once they've built their robot so they can have a little bit more play with it. Here we have another robot by Mattel, which is the Kamigami robot. And this one is controlled with an app. The kit comes with the battery that is below. And then this part at the top, it comes flat, and the child gets to build that and put it on his robot. And like I said, it is controlled by an app. And you can actually pair more than one robot with your phone or with your app so that you can go into battle mode. So kids that, 2 or more kids that have the robots can actually play with each other. And they make sounds and they move so fast. It's actually kind of creepy, but it's cool. So here is the Smart Girls. Smart Girls is actually Siggy the scooter is the robot. And Siggy, with the app that they have, you can program Siggy to do all sorts of different things. So again, it's a way to teach you how to code or teach kids how to code. And you can do free play, you can do missions, you can do paths, all different types of things. But the Siggy comes with either Jen or Maria. And they are a mathematician and an engineer, and they all also have their story. So, it's not just about the robot, it's also about the girl that's with the robot, and what's their story, and maybe, get inspired by them. Next up, we have our For Real Makers Protomax Plus, and we have someone who's gonna demonstrate it. This is actually, if you're familiar with For Real, you know that they have the plush that, that you can touch, and they sense your voice, they sense your touch. But this one's actually, kids get to code and program this pup to what they want the pup to be and do. So he moves, obviously, he moves all over. The app that he's using is just controlling it right now, but actually with the app, you can also code him sounds. Can you move it a little more? Sorry. Sounds, lights, emotions. He could actually change the emotions, and it would show on the pup's face. He could actually program routines, behavior, all sorts of things. So really, it's kind of giving the child the power to do what they want with their own friend. So, all right. Okay. And then last, certainly not least, is circuit clay by Klutz. And this is just, this is very creative because it's actually clay, that you can do all sorts of things with. But what you're doing is, what the child is doing with this, they're learning also how to create electricity. Because the clay kit includes conductive and insulative clay. It also has the battery pack, and it has different LED lights. So when they're creating different things with the clay, they're also making it so that it lights up. So it inspires their creativity, but at the same time teaches them about electricity. So that's just a sample of the toys, and there's a lot out there on the floor that answers to the STEAM stream trend, and also to all the other trends you've seen here. Thank you very much for your time.